It started with a simple phone call, a voice I trusted, a request that seemed normal. I didn't know I was handing over the keys to my life.
Just another day of emails and coffee. The world felt solid, predictable, and completely under my control. When my phone buzzed, I didn't hesitate. It was a familiar name, a familiar number. Why would I ever doubt it?
I talked for 5 minutes. Just a normal conversation. But every word I spoke was being harvested, measured, and reconstructed.
In a server farm halfway across the world, an AI was learning the exact frequency of my soul. My voice wasn't mine anymore. The call ended, but the trap was only halfway set. A follow-up email arrived seconds later. The timing was perfect. Too perfect.
It looked official. The logo, the fonts, the urgency. It played on the one thing we all fear: losing our security.
One click. That's all it takes to shatter a life. 1 microsecond of trust, and the firewall of my existence was breached.
They didn't just steal my money. They stole the digital me. They were inside the vault, rewriting my history in real time.
The screen went dark. The room went cold. For the first time in my life, I felt like a stranger in my own home.
Access denied. Identity compromised. The system that was built to protect me had just locked me out of my own life.
I tried to call for help, but how do you prove who you are when the internet says you're someone else? It happened in silence. No alarms, no sirens. Just a series of notifications telling me that I no longer existed in my own world.
First, it was my email. Then my social accounts. One by one, the doors were locking, and I didn't have the keys anymore. Then came the money. Years of hard work, deleted in a heartbeat. I was watching my future evaporate through a piece of glass. The theft wasn't just digital. It felt physical, like they were reaching into my pocket and turning my life into ash. I tried to get into my own house, and the door wouldn't open. My own home had decided I was an intruder.
The very air in my apartment felt hijacked. Every device, every connect was now a weapon being used against me. The screens were screaming at me. Every monitor, every display was a billboard for my own professional death.
I tried to type a message for help, but the language had changed. I couldn't even communicate with the world I was losing.
Time was a luxury I didn't have. Every second that passed, another piece of me was being sold on the dark web.
I was surrounded by technology, yet I had never been more alone. I was a ghost in a machine I no longer controlled.
The takeover was silent. It was perfect. And now, the deepfake is ready to take my place. The worst part wasn't that they took my money. It was that they took my face. They turned me into a monster, and the world believed it.
I was standing in my own kitchen when I saw it. A video of me. Except I never did those things. I never said those words. It was perfect. The eyes, the smile, the tone. Only a machine could tell it was a lie, but people aren't machines.
My friends, my family, they were all calling, texting, accusing. The lie was spreading faster than any truth ever could.
They were building a better version of me. One that obeyed their commands. One that didn't have a conscience.
Heists to tell the truth.
6 million views in an hour. My reputation was being dismantled in real time by a viral nightmare I couldn't stop. If you looked close enough, you could see the strings, the code buried in the eyes. But no one was looking that close.
They say seeing is believing. In the age of the deepfake, that's the most dangerous lie of all. I used to be a citizen. Now, I'm just a data point, a glitch in their system that they need to erase before the truth gets out.
They weren't looking for a man. They were looking for a file. And I was the only copy left. My own home had become a cave.
I had to leave everything. My phone, my past, my name. In this world, if it has a chip, it's a spy for the protocol.
The eyes in the sky don't blink.
How do you hide when your own faith is plastered on every corner? I was being haunted by a digital version of myself.
The hounds weren't breathing. They were pleasant, relentless, heartless, and programmed to find the one man who knew the code.
I learned to breathe in the gaps between the scans, to live in the dead zones where their signals couldn't reach me. Severing the link was the only way to survive. To become invisible, I had to die digitally and leave the grid forever.
In a crowd, everyone is a sensor. Every smartphone is a window for the protocol to peer through and find its prey.
The machine is everywhere. It's the lights, the wires, the very air we breathe. And I was right in the center of the trap.
They think they've won. They think I'm just data. But they forgot one thing. Data can be deleted, but a man can fight back. I had to go off the grid, below the sensors, beneath the city. I needed someone who spoke the language of the machine better than the machine itself.
The entrance wasn't on any map. It was a ghost in the system, a place where the protocol's eyes couldn't reach.
Her name was just a string of characters, a legend in the underground, the only person brave enough to touch a blacklisted file.
This was her sanctuary, a fortress built of silicon and copper. Here, the internet was a tool, not a weapon. She didn't trust a single pixel on me. Before we could talk, she had to make sure I wasn't carrying a digital parasite.
I gave her the only thing I had left, my last backup, the evidence of my own erasure. It was a heavy piece of plastic.
The drive was a bomb. The protocol had rigged it to self-destruct, but she caught the trigger before it could blow.
We watched my fake self commit the crime again and again. Every frame was a lie, and she was looking for the architect's signature.
And then, she found it. The watermark. A digital fingerprint that the AI couldn't hide. She looked at me, and for the first time, I saw real fear in her eyes. It's not...
We had the source. We had the evidence. Now, it was time to turn their own protocol against them. We didn't just look at the video, we looked through it. Behind every pixel of the lies, there was a digital trail leading back to the source.
Every deepfake has a fingerprint, a subtle pattern in the noise that the AI can't hide. It was our only hope of finding them. She was hunting for a ghost, diving into layers of encryption that were designed to swallow anyone who dared to look too close.
Our signal was a needle, piercing through their armor. We weren't just observing, we were attacking their silence.
I watched the machines work. It felt like an eternity, waiting for a piece of code to tell me where my life had been taken.
Thousands of victims, all linked to one single point on the map. A digital factory where identities were being manufactured and sold.
One keystroke to bridge the gap. 1 second of absolute clarity in a world of encrypted shadows.
And there it was, a physical place for a digital crime. The synth farm. The heart.
I finally had an address, a target I could touch. The fear was gone, replaced by something much sharper. It was isolated, hidden, the perfect place to hide a revolution. But they didn't know we were coming for it.
The investigation is over. The hunt is just beginning. It's time to take my identity back by force.
It wasn't a building, it was a fortress of lies. I had tracked my stolen life to a concrete bunker at the edge of the world.
The synth farm, a digital sweatshop hidden in the mountains. From the outside, it looked...
There was no turning back. I was cutting my way into the heart of the protocol, armed with nothing but a virus and desperation.
Inside, it was a cathedral of servers, a million blinking lights, each one holding a piece of a stolen. The heat of the processors was overwhelming. The machine was constantly thinking.
I saw them. Thousands of faces, shifting and changing.
And then I found my rack. I saw myself on the screen, moving, talking, existing without me. It was a nightmare in high definition.
It was learning how to be me, perfecting my micro-expressions, mapping my flaws.
And my entire life, my memories, my identity, reduced to a glowing piece of crystal on a black metal tray.
The facility wasn't unguarded. Automated sentries patrolled the aisles. One breath, one wrong move, and the alarms would scream.
I had seen enough. The shock was over. Now, it was time to introduce their perfect machine to a very human virus. The hacker gave me the weapon. I was standing at the core. The protocol was about to learn what happens when a ghost fights back. I was at the heart of the lie, the core of the machine that stole my face. It was time to give it something it couldn't compute, the truth.
The core. Every secret, every fake video, every stolen dollar, it all lived here. The injection was perfect. The hacker's virus was a silent predator, hungry for the protocol's code. The connection was live. It was a war of numbers. My virus versus their firewall. For every inch of data I gained, the system fought to erase me.
The protocol's defenses were ancient, built to stop men, not monsters. My virus was tearing the gates off their hinges.
The final command. The point of no return.
Then the alarms found their voice. The system knew it was dying, and it wanted to take me with it. The lockdown had begun.
The processors were melting. The pure heat of the crash was liquefying the hardware. The synth farm was turning into an oven.
I watched the masks fall. Every fake identity, every digital puppet was screaming in agony as the code was rewritten.
I didn't wait for the end. I ran, not from the truth, but from the fire. The machine was dying, and the exit was a mile away.
The protocol is broken. The world is about to wake up. But first, I have to survive the night.
I reached the core. But I wasn't alone. The machine had one last trick. It didn't send soldiers. The air was thick with the smell of burning circuits.
Then the room woke up. Not with a bang, but with a hum. A frequency that vibrated in my teeth.
He looked just like me, but better. No scars, no dirt, no fear.
Why fight?
I am the version the world loves. I am the one they want you to be.
But the virus didn't care about his suit. It was eating him from the inside. The perfect image was starting to crack, revealing the rot beneath. The lie collapsed. The pixels scattered. Without the protocol's protection, he was just a bunch of zeros and ones blowing in the wind.
This was for the money, for the reputation, for the nights I spent running. This was for taking my life back.
The connection was severed. The farm was dead. The screens went black, and for the first time in days, I walked toward the light. I was still dirty, still tired, and still poor. But
The Deepfake Protocol is over. My name is mine again. But remember, in a world of pixels, never trust the shadow.
when the sun came up, the digital ghosts were gone. The machine was dead, and for the first time in weeks, the air felt real. I walked out of the nightmare and into the morning light. I had survived the protocol. I had taken my face back.
The world woke up to the truth. The authorities swept in, cleaning up the mess the hacker and I left behind.
My home was mine again. The locks worked. The screens were quiet. The cold violet light was finally gone.
The banks reversed the damage. The money came back. It was just numbers on a screen, but it meant I could live again. As for my ally, she vanished back into the shadows.
a ghost who saved a life, retreating into the code. I got my identity back, but I realized I didn't want it online anymore. The less the internet knows about you, the safer you are. I cut the final cord, left the grid behind. I chose to be a man, not a data point waiting to be harvested.
I can look in the mirror now and know that the man staring back is me.
But sometimes, when I walk down the street, I feel it. The gaze of a million lenses. The synth farm was destroyed. But the internet never forgets. And somewhere out there, a backup is always waiting.
We live in an age where seeing is no longer believing. Guard your data. Protect your voice. Because the next deepfake could be you.